What if a swarm of hundreds of enemy drones darkened the sky above a city, and suddenly, a new kind of defender rose to meet them, one that could chase and destroy the attackers midair? This isn't science fiction. It's the reality Ukraine now faces as waves of Russian drones bombard its cities with relentless fury. At the heart of this crisis stands a breakthrough weapon, the interceptor drone. Just a few months ago, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stood before a defense forum in Rome with a stark message: Ukraine desperately needed more air defense supplies, especially interceptor drones, advanced missile systems, and layered defenses. This wasn't an empty call. Russia had ramped up its aerial attacks to unprecedented levels, flooding Ukrainian skies with drone after drone. The danger felt overwhelming. But now, Ukraine might be turning the tide. On the night of September 8, an aerial assault unlike any before unleashed 800 Russian drones, including more than 400 Shahed models. The thunderous drones swarm darkened the horizon. Explosions echoed, alarms screamed. Yet, amidst this chaos, something remarkable happened. Zelensky revealed that Ukraine's interceptor drones, fast, agile hunters programmed to collide with the enemy drones mid-flight, managed to knock down more than 150 targets that night. Out of 747 overall interceptions, these interceptors alone accounted for roughly a fifth of Russia's deadly assault. Imagine hundreds of tiny drones zooming through the sky, controlled by skilled pilots using live video feeds, homing in relentlessly on hostile targets. What began as improvised self-defense in 2024 has evolved into a sophisticated aerial shield by 2025. At the forefront of Ukraine's defense, these interceptor drones are rewriting the rules of drone warfare and providing much-needed hope as swarms descend like dark clouds. Mykola Kalashnik, head of Kyiv's Regional Military Civil Administration, announced an incredible milestone: 80 drones were intercepted above Kyiv itself, setting a new high for single-night interceptions. But Zelensky cautioned that this is only the beginning. Not every drone is fallen yet, he said. Ukraine's defenses still need strengthening. Yet this fighter-backed leap forward speaks volumes. What seemed like desperation is becoming a game-changing edge. How exactly do these interceptors differ from regular drones Ukraine already used for scouting or offense? Unlike standard drones, these are agile missile hunters, designed to smash headlong into hostile craft, destroying both attacker and defender midair. Many are repurposed first-person view drones, updated with speed, radar, and better maneuverability to match razor-sharp Russian Shahed attackers. Ukraine's engineers and military strategists have tirelessly rebuilt and improved these machines to meet Russia's technological surge. This hard-earned innovation couldn't be arriving at a more crucial moment. Russia's drone strikes peaked in July 2025, nearly 6,300 drones flooded Ukraine's skies daily. Even with Ukraine defending tirelessly, many drones still slip through, threatening infrastructure, cities, and lives. The numbers were staggering, almost overwhelming. But Ukraine's new interceptor drone fleets are closing the gap. The hope now lies in rapidly scaling their production and deployment. President Zelensky's message is clear: these interceptors are vital but not sufficient alone. Ukrainian air defense still depends on missiles, radar, electronic jamming, and traditional defense units armed with heavy machine guns. However, against the sheer volume of drones Russia launches, interceptor drones are proving to be a weapon of necessity and innovation. They might just become Ukraine's secret weapon in the skies if only they can produce enough. As September marches on, the question burns: can Ukraine build enough interceptors to match or exceed Russia's next drone swarm? The next battle isn't just about missiles or tanks, it's about control of the sky and the silent war of tiny machines racing at razor speeds, colliding in explosive bursts. Ukraine's future may depend on these small but deadly guardians. In the powerful struggle for air dominance, Ukraine emerged victorious as its interceptors managed to obliterate a substantial 20% of the drones launched by Russia. These advanced defensive assets have only started to gain recognition in 2025, showcasing remarkable efficiency. In a defining moment, the head of the Kyiv Regional Military Civil Administration, Mykola Kalashnik, revealed a staggering statistic: 80 drones were brought down above Kyiv in a single night. This marks a new record for interceptions in one evening, he announced with pride. However, President Volodymyr Zelensky remained cautious, acknowledging that interceptors are not a comprehensive fix for all air defense issues. During a somber evening briefing, he emphasized that while the innovation is impressive, significant gaps remain. "We haven't shot down everything yet, and we need to further bolster our air defenses," he admitted, outlining the reality of the ongoing conflict. Despite these challenges, the effectiveness of interceptor drones is something to behold, especially given their newness. If Ukraine commits to scaling up production and enhancing these aerial sentinels, what was intended to be one of the most devastating assaults by Russia could pivot into a showcase of Ukrainian ingenuity. This could transform the skies above Ukraine into territories dominated by these interceptor drones. So, what exactly are these interceptor drones? They are designed with speed and agility, aimed specifically at engaging and destroying reconnaissance drones. Typically, they function as uncrewed aerial systems that chase their targets mid-flight, crashing into them, resulting in dramatic explosions in the sky and aerial ballet of fire and precision. But how do these interceptors differ from the multitude of FPV drones already cluttering the battlefield? To put it simply, while FPV drones capture spectacular footage and serve various roles, interceptors are tactical hunters. They are meticulously designed for one purpose: to intercept and neutralize threats before they can wreak havoc on the ground. The stakes are high, as the environment is filled with a cacophony of drone engines, the distinct whir of propellers, and the potent smell of scorched metal, capturing the essence of modern warfare. As the air war escalates, the demand for more interceptors grows urgent. The adrenaline of each successful interception fuels the determination to invest further in this life-saving technology. What lies ahead is both thrilling and daunting, as Ukraine navigates the storm of Russian drone assaults. With the ominous specter of history looming, will these interceptors be the key to securing the skies, or are they merely a temporary solution to an overwhelming challenge? The future of Ukraine's air defense hangs in the balance, every intercept shaping the ongoing narrative of resilience and adaptation in the face of adversity. In the harrowing world of drone warfare, interceptor drones have transformed from mere concepts into essential assets for defending Ukraine's skies. As a once makeshift approach develops into a sophisticated air defense network, Ukraine faces an ever-evolving threat from Russia's relentless aerial assaults. With over 800 drone strikes launched in a single night, the pressure mounts on Ukrainian forces to enhance their defensive capabilities. Summary of previous events: interceptor drones serve as precise hunters, tasked with colliding midair with incoming threats, ensuring they explode before hitting the ground. This strategy has become crucial as the frequency of Russian drone strikes increases. Many of these interceptors, crucial to Ukraine's defense, were initially repurposed first-person view (FPV) drones. These drones, equipped to transmit live footage of their targets, allow pilots to maneuver them from afar for a successful strike. Yet, this portrayal doesn't capture their true evolution. According to reports, Ukraine began utilizing basic versions of interceptor drones in 2024. Originally, they relied on standard FPV drones to tackle slower Russian models like the Orlan and Supercam. Unfortunately, faster variants like the Shahid often eluded these early defenses. Recognizing the need for improvement, Ukrainian engineers collaborated closely with military units, leading to significant advancements. Small radar systems were added, enabling troops to identify incoming drones effectively. As these tactics matured, so did the interceptors themselves. Today's models, while still reminiscent of FPV drones, boast enhanced speed and durability. Some are now designed to resemble and operate like miniature aircraft, allowing them to pursue and engage the elusive Shahid drones. The integration of cutting-edge technology has been pivotal. Advanced sensors and radar support give operators the critical minutes needed to launch interceptors against Russia's advancing swarm. What started as a rudimentary defense mechanism has now become integral to Ukraine's air strategy. During his evening address, President Zelensky emphasized its significance. "This is a top priority," he affirmed, underscoring the necessity to match the increasing number of Shahid drones launched in each attack, often exceeding 300 to 400. Why does more investment in interceptors become essential? With Ukrainian defenses regularly pushed to their limits, the looming question persists: can Ukraine outpace its adversaries' drone invasion before it's too late? As Russia continues to ramp up its aerial onslaught, the stakes are higher than ever. In 2024, Ukraine witnessed a significant evolution in its air defense strategy, with interceptor drones becoming crucial to its military capabilities. President Zelensky has emphasized this stark shift, declaring the production of more interceptor drones to be an urgent priority. As threats escalate, he stressed, this is a top priority, highlighting the need to counter the staggering numbers of Russian drone assaults. What do these numbers reveal about the intensity of the ongoing conflict? Just in August, Russia unleashed a staggering 4,216 aerial attack vehicles upon Ukraine, with 4,060 of those being drones and decoys aimed at overwhelming air defenses. This relentless barrage means Ukrainian forces contended with an average of 131 drones daily, along with 5 additional missiles, totaling 156 monthly. Despite Ukraine's remarkable countermeasures achieving an 85% interception rate, 609 drones still made it past defenses, inflicting damage. These assaults in August are merely a precursor to what unfolded in July, where Russia escalated its aggression exponentially. According to reports, the number of drones launched against Ukraine in July 2025 was a staggering 6,297, a jaw-dropping increase of 14 times compared to the previous year, with 6,129 belonging to the Shahid class. This marked July as the peak of drone attacks, with a terrifying daily average of around 203 drones targeting Ukrainian cities. However, the subsequent month of August saw a surprising decline in drone activity, a puzzle for analysts, especially given that Russian demands for territorial concessions remained unchanged. What could be behind this sudden drop? As September arrives, there are concerns about a potential resurgence. Just recently, Ukraine experienced its largest drone strike in history, and intelligence suggests more waves of aerial assaults could be forthcoming, potentially involving hundreds of drones at once. As tensions rise, the pressure is mounting for Ukraine to enhance its air defenses. With military experts cautioning that Russia could deploy up to 2,000 drones in a single attack, the urgency for further development of interceptor drones becomes even more pronounced. The fate of the nation hangs in the balance as they prepare for yet another assault. Will Ukraine be ready to withstand the storm? Earlier, we saw how Russia unleashed the largest aerial drone strike of the war against Ukraine, sending hundreds of drones in relentless waves. Despite this devastation, Ukraine's fighter drones managed to push back, but is it enough? The unsettling question lingers, can Ukraine hold off an enemy that might soon strike with 2,000 drones at once? Major General Christian Freudning from Germany warns that Russia aims to flood Ukraine's skies with overwhelming numbers. Imagine thousands of buzzing shadows swarming from the horizon, each ready to explode on impact. Such sheer weight of attack would crush any air defense unprepared. For Ukraine, this is not just a threat, it might already be happening. Ukraine's air defense network is a patchwork of air-to-air missiles, surface-to-air systems, and electronic jammers designed to confuse enemy drones' navigation. Add mobile units equipped with heavy machine guns, firing into the eerie silence that drones often bring. But despite this layered approach, the relentless waves often overwhelm their response. Russian forces combine drone swarms with ballistic missiles, striking simultaneously. In the cacophony of alarms and distant thunder, Ukraine's defense falters under the numbers. So, what is clear? Traditional air defense can't keep up. The gap grows wider as Russia sharpens its drone tactics. That's where Ukraine's interceptor drones come in, fast, small, agile hunters that crash directly into enemy drones, blowing them up midair. These interceptors act as a critical shield, bridging the gap where missiles and guns fall short. Yet, one thing stands out: Ukraine doesn't have nearly enough interceptor drones to match Russia's advancing swarm. The key to survival lies in mass-producing these sophisticated guardians of the sky. Ukraine's leadership understands this urgency. Even before September's devastating strike, Ukraine was already racing to expand its interceptor drone program. By July, the government had declared these defense drones a top priority, investing heavily in building the fleet that might save its skies. The clock is ticking, and every interceptor launched could be the difference between survival and disaster. Will Ukraine's investment come in time to counteract the storm of drones heading its way? Or will the buzzing clouds of destruction overwhelm the country's layered defenses, rewriting the fate of this conflict forever? Previously, we saw how Ukraine recognized the urgent need to build up its interceptor drone forces long before Russia's massive drone assault on September 8. The country was already racing against time to create a shield strong enough to fend off overwhelming waves of enemy drones. Now, Ukraine's defense minister, Denis Shmyhal, revealed the scale of this effort. Speaking to the public, he made it clear that the government is pouring significant funds into developing these interceptor drones. Contracts have already been awarded to 3 manufacturers, with 4 total agreements exceeding 3 billion hryvnias, around $72 million. But why such a massive investment? Shmyhal explained that the priority is to arm frontline soldiers with drones capable of neutralizing the relentless Russian Shahed drones. These small, fast, and numerous attackers have been a nightmare for Ukraine's defenses. The president demanded swift action, setting an ambitious goal to expand this technology. To meet this challenge, Ukraine's Ministry of Digital Transformation joined forces with defense teams to accelerate drone production. The scale is staggering. Tens of thousands of interceptor drones are being produced right now, with the process deliberately spread across multiple locations. This decentralization is a clever tactic to avoid giving Russia a single target to cripple Ukraine's drone manufacturing. But questions remain: has the full budget been spent? Will these drones be enough to turn the tide? What's certain is that this is not just a short-term fix. Ukraine is preparing for a long battle in the skies, building vast stockpiles of interceptors that could change how aerial combat unfolds. Yet, with each new wave of Russian drones, the pressure mounts. Can these rapidly evolving interceptors keep pace with the growing threat? The next chapter will reveal the surprising international partnerships and cutting-edge innovations fueling Ukraine's aerial defense revolution. Previously, we explored how Ukraine's urgent need for interceptor drones stems from Russia's relentless drone onslaught. Despite deploying thousands of traditional defenses, Ukraine faced waves of seemingly endless attacks. But now, tens of thousands of new interceptors are reportedly under construction, a massive stockpile that hints at a strategic shift. What's fueling this unprecedented expansion? The answer lies partly in a groundbreaking partnership born not in Kiev, but surprisingly, in Denmark. A leading Danish defense tech firm, Terma, stepped into the spotlight on July 21. Known as Denmark's biggest defense technology company, Terma announced a collaboration with Ukraine's Odd Systems, a drone manufacturer seasoned on the war's front lines. This alliance is not just about building more drones. It's about crafting a new breed of interceptor, one infused with artificial intelligence. Imagine drones that don't rely solely on human pilots struggling to guide rapid interceptors toward fast-moving targets. Instead, these drones will possess the ability to sense, chase, and neutralize hostile craft autonomously, slashing the margin for human error in the heat of battle. Odd Systems brings vital battlefield expertise, specializing in first-person view drones and thermal cameras, while Terma contributes cutting-edge technological muscle. Together, they aim to develop interceptors capable of identifying and tracking a vast range of aerial threats. From nimble FPV drones and surveillance copters like the Mavic, to fixed-wing reconnaissance units and deadly long-range Shahed strike drones, the new interceptors will target them all with precision and speed. If Russia thought it could simply overwhelm Ukraine with quantity, this AI-driven evolution could change the game entirely. So far, Ukraine's existing interceptors managed to shoot down roughly one-fifth of the incoming drone waves. But with AI on board, that number could soar. Autonomous systems can react instantaneously, calculate trajectories far faster than human operators, and adapt mid-flight to shifting battle conditions. For Russia, this innovation will be a staggering blow to its drone campaign. The future of Ukraine's air defense might pivot on machines that learn and strike without waiting for human commands. Terma's announcement barely skims the surface on the technology's full potential, though it emphasizes the wider stakes, not only safeguarding Ukraine but bolstering European defense capabilities as a whole. The deal speaks volumes about Ukraine's relentless focus on expanding interceptor production, turning what began as a modest defensive measure into a central pillar of the country's survival strategy. Money, development, and technology flow together like never before. The puzzle pieces, funding from international backers, Ukrainian ingenuity from Odd Systems, and Terma's global expertise, fit tightly to build a robust defense network. Could these AI-powered interceptors tip the balance in a conflict defined by overwhelming drone swarms? Will human pilots soon step aside as artificial intelligence takes control of the skies over Ukraine? The answer lies on the horizon, where silent, smart hunters are ready to meet the storm. But this begs a deeper question: with so many interceptors in production, why does Ukraine need tens of thousands more? What hidden challenges demand such explosive growth? The truth behind these figures holds an unexpected revelation that reshapes our understanding of this aerial war. In a dramatic plea, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has highlighted the critical need for advanced air defense systems to protect his nation against an unprecedented wave of aerial attacks by Russia. Addressing a defense conference in Rome, he called for more interceptor drones, air defense systems, and missiles, emphasizing that these tools are essential for Ukraine's survival as it faces an intensifying barrage of drone strikes from its adversary. By September 8, it became vividly clear how urgent his requests were. As Ukraine endured a devastating aerial onslaught where 800 drones, more than 400 being the lethal Shahed type, invaded its skies, Zelensky's resolve seemed pivotal. Yet amidst this turmoil, hope emerged from Ukraine's arsenal of interceptor drones. These remarkable devices played a crucial role in defending the nation, achieving more than 150 interceptions during that harrowing night. While Russia unleashed one of the war's largest drone attacks, Ukraine managed to shoot down about a fifth of its approaching foes with these newly developed interceptors, an extraordinary feat considering their recent introduction to the battlefield. This evolution from rudimentary defense tactics to effective interceptor technology illustrates a shift that has taken place since 2024. Initially, Ukraine struggled to engage faster drones like the Shahed, relying on standard drones for slower artillery. However, through innovation and determination, engineers have created advanced interceptor drones capable of swift action, transforming the landscape of aerial defense. Ukraine's defense minister, Denis Shmyhal, confirmed that their investment in interceptor drones is a top priority. With Russia continuously launching hundreds of drones in single assaults, the urgency of producing more interceptors cannot be overstated. The financial commitment is staggering. Compared to conventional missiles, interceptor drones like the Arbalete, with a production cost of only $500, provide a practical solution for sustained defense operations. But what exactly makes these interceptor drones so crucial? They are designed to crash into enemy drones mid-flight, resulting in an explosive ballet in the skies. As Ukraine prepares for more aerial conflicts, the urgency to expand this technology becomes increasingly apparent. Can innovative engineering and financial strategy save Ukraine from the jaws of a relentless foe? The answer may lie in how quickly and effectively Ukraine can ramp up its interceptor drone production. This commitment to innovation holds promise, yet the stakes are dangerously high. As both sides ready themselves for what could become the largest drone battles in history, the race to deploy effective defense systems will truly determine Ukraine's fate in the ongoing conflict. With each dawn, the skies darken with the threat of impending strikes, and the whispers of bravery echo through the hearts of those who stand ready to defend their homeland. Will Ukraine's interceptor drones rise to meet this challenge, or will the audacity of aggression overshadow their resolve? Time will tell as this technological saga unfolds amidst the chaos of war. A staggering question lingers in the smoky air over Ukraine's battlefields: how can a country survive relentless drone swarms when its most powerful air defense missiles cost millions each and fly only so many times? Imagine standing in a dark bunker, tension palpable, as radar blips flash, signaling waves of enemy drones closing fast. In that tense moment, the answer might just be something costing less than $1,000, but capable of turning the tide. Previously, we saw how Ukraine's interceptor drones, nicknamed Sting, cruise at speeds up to 195 miles per hour, fast enough to chase down Russia's deadly Shahed drones. These machines cost between $1,000 and $5,000 each, a fraction of other defense systems. Yet, that's not the whole story. Just days before the infamous September 8 air attack, a new marvel emerged. As reported, a tiny but crafty drone named the Arbalete stunned observers by its price, just $500 to build. Picture this: a sleek delta-wing drone crafted from lightweight polystyrene, making it affordable without sacrificing speed or agility. It doesn't fly alone, it relies on a crew. One operator monitors radar, while two others wait ready with handheld launchers. The moment a threat appears, those two send their drones soaring. Meanwhile, another pilot, usually hidden deep underground, takes control, guiding the drone at speeds up to 110 miles per hour, closing in on the enemy like a hawk. Its flight time is short, just 40 minutes, but enough for its mission. What does this mean for Ukraine's defense budget? Consider the numbers. While a single Patriot missile costs around $4 million, the same funds could buy anywhere from 800 to 8,000 interceptor drones, depending on which model is purchased. Ukraine's current investment, $72 million earmarked for interceptors, could translate into a staggering between 14,400 and 144,000 drones flying to defend its skies. The likelihood is closer to the higher figure, painting a picture of a future where skies grow thick with these nimble defenders. But behind this rush to supply cheap drones lies a stark reality. Ukraine's supply of Patriot missile systems, their ultimate air defense weapon, is woefully inadequate. That scarcity pushes interceptor drones from a novel idea to an urgent necessity. These speedy, low-cost devices fill the gap left by scarce Patriots, facing down Russia's growing cloud of attack drones, and keeping Ukraine's heartbeat steady amid the roaring skies. So, with missiles too few and drones increasingly deadly, how far can Ukraine scale this aerial swarm defense? Can a $500 drone withstand a storm of hundreds? Or is it the key to standing strong when everything else falls short? The answer hangs, tense and elusive, above the horizon as the battle for the skies rages on. Previously, we explored Ukraine's struggle to balance cost and effectiveness in its air defense. The glaring shortage of Patriot missile batteries, a system long favored by Ukraine, has forced the country to rethink its strategy. With only about 6 operational Patriot batteries in July, each with limited missile capacity, Ukraine simply can't rely on these expensive giants alone. Now, imagine this: a handful of Patriot batteries stand against relentless waves of drones and missiles. Each battery can hold up to 8 launchers, with 16 missiles per launcher, but is it enough? President Volodymyr Zelensky revealed Ukraine's urgent need for 10 new batteries to cover its vulnerable skies. Yet, the reality bites hard: only 3 new batteries have arrived. The US, along with European allies, scramble to deliver more, but the supply chain is strained. Lockheed Martin and Raytheon plan to build 740 PAC-2 and PAC-3 missiles for 2025, yet most won't reach Ukraine, reserved instead for US or European stockpiles. The paradox here is stark: Ukraine is sandwiched between wanting to protect its skies and the cold limitations of what it can actually equip. Western air defense systems weren't designed for modern threats, particularly the massive swarms of drones Russia now unleashes. These systems were crafted for missiles and planes, not waves of tiny, explosive robotic insects darkening the sky. With many of these systems lacking in numbers or ammunition, Ukraine faces a terrifying gap in its defenses. This brings us back to Ukraine's game-changing weapon, the interceptor drone. Unlike traditional defenses, these nimble, affordable drones zero in on the Shahed drones mid-flight. They're not just shooting down threats, they're crashing into them, detonating the enemy in the air before they reach their targets. This is a low-cost but precise answer to an overwhelming problem. Could these interceptors be the missing piece Ukraine desperately needs? Are they the new guardians of the sky, rising from the ashes of limitation? The answer might reshape the very future of air defense. But what challenges lie hidden behind this innovation? And can Ukraine scale up production fast enough to match the storm of drones it faces? The skies are filled with deadly whispers, and the battle for air supremacy has only just begun. Previously, we saw how Ukraine turned to interceptor drones, small but fierce defenders designed specifically to hunt down Russia's relentless Shahed drones midair. These drones aren't just tools made elsewhere, they are proudly crafted on Ukrainian soil, fueling a shift toward self-reliance in the heat of conflict. Around 60% of Ukraine's weapons and munitions are now products of its own factories. This growing domestic arsenal means fewer blind spots in Ukraine's defenses caused by delayed foreign aid or limited imports. The heartbeat of Ukraine's resistance is no longer tied entirely to others, it pulses from within. But are these interceptor drones Ukraine's silver bullet? Not quite. They won't single-handedly end the swarm assaults that regularly darken Ukraine's skies. Instead, they represent a crucial layer, one of the few systems designed from scratch to tackle the deadly drone waves flooding the battlefield. When Russia unleashed its most massive attack yet, these interceptors took down a staggering 1 in 5 of the enemy's flying weapons. That's no small feat given how new this technology is. Imagine skies once thick with enemy drones turning into a deadly trap, swarms that once felt unstoppable now crashing down in droves. Soon, thousands of Shahed drones could find themselves falling like flies, victims of Ukraine's buzzing guardians. Yet the story doesn't end here. While Ukraine races to multiply its interceptor drones, there's a secret weapon quietly emerging, something cold and calculating, born from innovation and desperation. It's called Round Loaf, a new breed of drone that strikes fear deep into Russia's heartland. Hidden from most eyes, it's already rewriting the rules of engagement, turning the tables in ways few expected. What is this Round Loaf, and how will it disrupt the relentless drone warfare? Could this be the game-changer that finally breaks Russia's aerial siege? The answers lie ahead, in a battle where silence and speed become the deadliest weapons. Stay tuned, for the skies over Eastern Europe are about to witness a storm unlike anything before.